how's your TikTok doing?
I
How's your-
don't really
yeah,
pay
yeah.
attention to that.
So I'm not on TikTok as much, but I think TikTok is awesome. I don't care what anybody says. TikTok is one of the greatest things
It
ever
is.
created. I think so.
It is addicting.
Why compare
Why?
compared
So,
to the other platforms?
Here's the
Give
reason
me-
why.
give me a
Number
couple
one
things.
reason why I like TikTok.
Because again,
above
let's be
everywhere else-
reasonable
Yeah.
about all those things. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure.
Obviously, we're gonna address the main concerns. What makes it so much better than any of the other?
TikTok, I'm not saying it will stay this way, but TikTok, in my opinion, is how YouTube used to be.
Okay.
YouTube is no longer so. What I mean, when I want to search for something, I can search for it and I'll find it. YouTube now will prevent you from finding what they don't want you to find. So if let's say I'm looking up a video.
That's a big statement.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
I-
100%.
If I was
they do
the
that.
CEO of TikTok,
Yeah, no, that's it. Yes,
I'd be looking for
You'll
you
be
right
like,
now.
Yeah, it's
like I'm so serious.
You're
like-
here what Alexis said.
Correct, right? I used to, and YouTube used to be like this. I would search for a
it
video.
was a search engine.
Exactly. I would
It
search
was
for a
not
video.
Google.
Whatever I search for, it'll pop up. Now they create it where I can be looking for a very specific video, and it's on page 3,000 on purpose.
They're gonna
and they
show you what they want
Correct,
you
correct.
to see.
Exactly.
Okay,
Whereas
alright.
with TikTok, I can say I'm looking for something that was kinda about this, and it kind of pops up automatically.
Both.
Yeah,
Every
absolutely.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's now.
So you do have an account.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Neither do I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you guys are missing out.
Yeah,
Right, no,
we're
no,
not
no,
one of
listen.
the
It might be
children.
too late.
I
Let
just
me-
showed my
it might be
age.
too
Let me. All right. So
25.
So what's the number one reason? The dark side of it. I like it. When was the last time Congress agreed on anything at this level? Let me like if we want to
Declaration of
highlight if you want to highlight how this
Yeah.
is a significant issue
Yeah.
for the security of the country, Alexi.
I hear you, I hear
that
you.
you're allowing all these Chinese people through you
I don't believe it.
to go
I don't believe
into
it.
all this.
I don't believe it.
Say-
I think it sounds
I
good.
have like 15 houses in
Yeah,
China.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And the problem is that I think the bigger issue is they don't want the average person to capitalize on it and make money. They're not able to control it. So I don't believe they really care about national security. It sounds good. I think it's just an easy excuse to find a way to give the people who want all the power more power. That's it. But I don't believe it's about security.
Which is,
What do you mean?
who is the
Who
people
see?
that want
I don't know. I don't know. It's
more
them.
power,
They.
all the
They.
power. The
They. It's they.
But all right, so.
so
Let me piggyback on
Go
let
ahead.
me
Yeah.
piggyback on that a little more. I mean, or at least I'm gonna
Yeah.
double down on the statement. National security,
I got you.
CIA,
Mm-hmm.
FBI.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody already came out and said it is a threat to
Mm-hmm.
national security, right? Because that means that anybody, one of the things that the app itself says, we are going to,
Take
you know,
over.
there are terms like keystroking, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like any of your passwords, anything that you have in there, they have access to it.
Got it.
And they have the ability to break into anything that you will consider
I got you.
sacred the moment that the question is that relevant to you right now at this level? But if you happen to be a congressperson, or if you happen to be somebody working at a you know very high level of banking, and if you want somebody that's working technology, medical,
Yeah.
science, you know, what I mean, something where you are actually are trying to keep something secret.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that app on the phone, whatever you have in there, your life is no longer a secret.
I got you.
So what's your take on this?
I think from the beginning, actually, I was like, let's get rid of this thing. And you helped me reason, which is there's about censorship and it's about freedom of speech. If you shut down one voice, you're magnifying another one. So from that statement, and I actually started thinking, and I said, you know what? Maybe we got to be very careful which way this is being done. Right? Because one thing is, I agree.
Who
it
will
is-
benefit? Who will benefit?
well, I mean, Trump said that Facebook will benefit. I agree 1,000%.
Other providers will
right?
benefit.
Meta
Right.
will freaking blow up, and the same thing with Meta and with Alphabet, which is Google, and all of these guys is they control what we see.
Yeah.
And what you say is super important, especially right now. So it's very convenient that this is all happening in an election year
Yeah.
when they're trying to control the narrative and it's blowing up in their faces.
Yeah.
And so now they're saying, well, this platform is doing this. Let us go ahead and address this right now and censor this. But you know what? That may open the door also to doing some things with X and like censoring that as
I
well.
mean, you can see certain
And
platforms
so-
blowing up, and some of them we trust a little more, and some others we trust less, and some others We don't see, how they're going to have any impact one way or the other. I think that people go to Instagram mostly to market products or services. I think that Facebook at this point is just an outdated product out there. I don't know how this will help it. YouTube is very set
But
on how they
Meta
do business.
Meta owns Instagram and WhatsApp and
Correct.
so
Correct.
and
But again,
Facebook, so-
even if they see some of these things, if you see a positive, I think that there's two things that can potentially happen, because you said something important here, right? You guys are talking about control. I mean, don't forget that ultimately the issue here is precisely that.
Yeah.
Control. They're
Yeah.
being controlled by the actual Chinese government.
I get it.
So for me, this is a simple solution. I mean, they just gotta create a wall of separation, because if the purpose of this product is 100% commercial and commercial activity, and to create again a platform where everybody's happy with the platform, I hear great things about it. I'll be honest with you. Patrick himself asked us the question: what would you be more concerned? United States looking into your secrets, or the Chinese government looking into you?
Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F. Both.
So, but essentially, what will have a more immediate negative impact of this? So, obviously, for the average person, it's the United States government, right? Because that can affect me directly, opposed to the trickle down effect that can happen if the Chinese gathers information when it comes to military, politics, science, or all of those things, whatever the case may be, right? So, this is not supposed to be that complicated just by creating a wall of separation.
Yeah.
Let somebody who is 100%, and I'm going to tell you something that is one of the reasons why doing business in China is extremely difficult, right? Let somebody else who is 100% American citizen or a company that is an American company have ownership of the company, right? Let it buy it.
Yeah.
You can buy it 100% or have the controlling power to make sure that you have the ability to eliminate any kind of backdoor communication that is not supposed to be taking place.
Yeah.
The problem is, when you're talking about our legal rights as individuals and also as businesses, when you're talking about property rights, when you're talking about individual rights, that is the one thing why people, no matter what the economy is doing in the United States, they keep coming to us for that reason. So the moment where you play this game, guess what game you are actually playing? You're playing a Chinese game, which you can't even own a company unless it's somebody who is a natural Chinese citizen is the actual controlling person of a company. You know what I mean? And but by the way, there's many countries that don't allow you to have ownership of anything if you're not a citizen of the country. How many people we have here that are born somewhere else that actually come here and they own businesses, they own I mean, it's just and so it's that I'm a little concerned about that. But I don't want to minimize. Listen, I don't care how great it is. You know what I mean? If ultimately it's going to have
So how would you
real
go
high
about
value.
it? Like, what would be the best way to say, hey, guys, like, obviously it is a threat. No one is saying that
It's not. By the way, it's not
can be
a
true at once.
secret how they are accessing
Of course.
information. It's a feature that have to be removed. And so whoever is going to buy and control it, or whoever it is, as long as they agree to remove that reporting feature that happens to be already in the system, as long as they do that, there was no need for this to get to this point. If a lot of the countries are willing to play that game, China, there's certain things that China won't do, no matter what. So commercially, anybody that wants to do business with them, it's got to play by the rules.
Gotcha.
Well, here's our set of rules. We don't want that back end feature that happens to be there that is sending information back to you about every single one of us. If you stop that, we have no issues with that.
So I got two big issues, right? So
Yeah.
issue number one, I feel like this goes against capitalism. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
I feel like you're trying to make business go the way you want it for your benefit.
Yeah.
And it's like they created a product that was too awesome. And then so therefore they're not allowed to own it. I don't like that. And I think
But that means that there's got to be a group of people from the commercial side of it that is lobbying against the product, and who again, That's why I asked before, who will benefit if this goes
Yeah.
wrong? Are they lobbying against it, right? Is
Yes.
that, is
And-
you know, we
and-
don't know
and-
the extent of that. yet.
Correct. And then the second thing is, I don't feel like they're talking about getting rid of TikTok. They just want someone else to
Correct.
have control of it. To
Correct.
me, that's a big problem. Because if this is a problem, then no one should be in control of it. Don't tell me I got the laser beam
No,
that
no,
can
no,
blow
but-
up
but the-
planets,
but
but,
the
it
idea-
can't be in the hands of China.
No, no,
It
no, no,
should
no.
be in our hands.
But that's
I
not
mean,
the
it's
argument.
happening with
That's not the
drugs,
that's not the
guys.
argument though. That's not the argument. The argument is if the other person actually controls it, then that person will have the ability to make sure that that reporting it stops.
I don't know if they're going to
That
do
go
that,
like
though.
that. Well,
That would make sense, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
that has no implications on any of the beautiful features that it has, all the happiness that everybody has.
Like,
and all
so
the
what I'm
good-
saying is, yeah, I get you.
It's like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that it's
Future
like,
does look bright.
Like, it's not. The future doesn't look bright, all right? I'm telling you right now. Pay attention.
Yeah, so
Shit is falling apart.
Yeah, I don't think
The sky is falling.
I don't think if any one of these companies, Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, any one of them bought it, they're not getting rid of that feature. That's too valuable to have access to everyone's information. Is no Google wants
This
more
not,
information.
the
not less.
access to the information is not the issue. Every single one of cookies and
Yes.
every single one. Do you agree to this? We
Yeah.
allow us to.
Correct.
Once in a while, you're gonna have the app saying, "Hey, by the way, just so you know, Maps has been accessing your estate. Do you want to allow them to get it? You can choose certain
Yeah.
things, right? That's not the issue because, by the way, they do disclaim, "Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do the following." The problem is who does that information goes back to, and the problem is with features like keystroking. There's nothing. Imagine you're typing and somebody is as you typing
Yeah.
is reading exactly what you're typing in there,
Yeah.
and that means everything: private documents, private communications, passwords.
You know, I get you.
Passwords, like you can say, oh, that was a nice power, flowery to 22, rainbow 126.
No,
That's
I'm not
I don't-
arguing. I think it's a
Exclamation
problem.
point.
that
I get
that my point is
Yeah.
those are the components that have to be for a consumption perspective. I mean, this is something that listen, psychology was introduced into how we consume things in business many years ago.
Correct.
This is not a new thing, right?
Yeah.
And so you can Google one thing, just to go Google blue pants, and then you see every single one of your social media
Correct.
things showing you things about blue pants.
Good
you
talk
know?
about blue pants.
You can
and-
talk about it. It's gonna show up.
Yeah, correct,
You know what I mean?
correct,
Next thing you know, Alexa is all into your conversation, like
yeah.
blue pants.
So here is the way that I'm processing it, because when you mention it, the way that you mention it, to me, it's no different than what's happening with drugs, right? They have a problem with the drugs coming in across the border with like mullahs and whatever, right? But they don't have a problem if the drug dealer is the actual drug company. Is that kind of like what
Yes.
you were alleging to? That is saying,
That's
as
what
long
I'm
as
saying.
the drug dealer is not, Pedro or whoever, is happens to be Pfizer, then it's fine. Is that kind of like where they're going with this?
No,
No.
what they're going with this is what they are attempting to stop, which is the espionage component of it. Not the
content.
Not the content. They're not trying to control the free speech. That you can still put as many cute
So you're
cats
for
and
the
as many
ban.
kid-
You're-
I don't believe it though.
I am-
Because
I
all
am
the
for
other
the- I
platforms,
am-
they found a way to water it down, and I feel like if any company that is in control of the current social media platforms gets in control of it, they're gonna do the same thing to that. It's no longer gonna be what it is.
So whose database is it
no,
feeding?
but guys, let's be
Yeah.
very clear about something. There is no other app out there, social media, consider, that has been labeled a tool to spy in our country. There's nothing else. There's nothing. And by the way, they don't want to change absolutely anything about the platform. Not how you monetize it, not how you become part of it, not the stuff the content that you put in there. They just want to stop that, which is obviously a problem. And I think that that's actually doable. I absolutely do have a hope, because now it's got to go to the Senate. I don't know how. And by the way, I would be extremely surprised if Congress already agreed. Again, but now the Senate, if they agree to it, then there's a lot more to it that we don't know. because these guys are breathed into, again, security issues that we may not be even considering or thinking about, that could be a real threat to the country. And if they agree, then there's a bigger problem that we are led to know, or that we believe that happened. Remember, all federal employees, they haven't, what was it, a year ago or 6 months ago, that they were banned from having access to that. Like, you have to remove it from your devices.
That
If
makes
you're
more
federal
sense. Ban them from having.
No, got it. No, got it.
We're gonna see Alexis dancing.
You know.
It's like that's the problem. Alexis busy like.
But for me, to be quite honest with you, I again, when you're saying control, I'm not thinking about our people here trying to control something. I'm thinking about that the biggest issue of control is the control that comes from China.
I get you.
And that's something that we do need to be concerned about, because these guys are not playing nice.